Hello crafty people and welcome back. Today I'm going to try a new product. Have you seen this one on the shelves yet? This is the DecoArt Pouring Medium and it's brand new to the market. I'm just trying it for the first time in this painting. I'm going to read out to you, in case you haven't seen it, what it says on the bottle. Create rich and vibrant paint pours with this fluid pouring medium. Thins paint to ideal consistency, creates cell effects, and reduces cracking for pour painting. Will not slow the drying time or lessen the adhesion of the paint. Now, for the directions, it says to mix slowly into paint to avoid creating bubbles. Begin mixing using the basic ratio guidelines and adjust as necessary. 2:1 paint to pouring medium with fluid acrylics. With craft acrylics, 1:1 paint to pouring medium. Medium body is 1:3. So this is the product that we're going to use today, and I've got my tiles out because we're experimenting, so I'm going to do a side by side. It says that this product can create cells, so if it really is as straightforward as mixing 1 part paint, 1 part pouring medium, cells appear, then it really is an awesome product, but I want to test that out. So I've got 4 colours and they are very, very yummy colours too. I have got the desert turquoise, then there's a royal fuchsia, jack-o'-lantern orange, and the snow titanium white. And I've already got my paints mixed. So what I did for all of my paints was I mixed them 1 part paint to 1 part pouring medium, and on this side of the table to go on this tile I've just got paint and pouring medium, nothing else, no water, no nothing. On this side of the table to go on this tile I've got the paint, the pouring medium, exactly the same ratio, and then I've added 2 drops of the treadmill belt silicone lubricant into each of these colours. So now we can do a side by side and see what happens. So let me get the tops off all of my paints, give them a final mix, and then we'll make a painting. So I think I'm ready to go and I'm quite excited. I've got my teeny little cups. These are ideal for working on a 6-inch tile. So I'm just going to lay the colours in and I will try and do the same. But you know, pour paintings, you can never make them exactly the same, but I will see what I can do. So there's a little bit of white. These ones, no silicone. These ones have got silicone in. I would say the white paint in each case seems to be a little bit thicker than the other colours. The colours seem to pour out of here just a little easier. But the actual consistency of the paint is just right. It would be pretty much exactly how I would do it if I was going to pour it, mix up the paint myself. So just that 1:1 ratio with the craft paint to the pouring medium worked really well. However, it's the results that are going to count. So we will see how it works out in the end. What I like about these paints is that when I go into my craft store, I have so much more choice now. When I first started with the painting, I could get the paint in the larger bottles from a couple of brands. I think Blick Acrylics and Art Alternatives were both available in my local stationery store, but great big bottles, but they only had like about half a dozen colours. So all of my paintings, if you looked back and saw my videos in the early days, you might not have noticed at the time, but if you look back and look at them now, I certainly noticed I used very few colours. They were all, you know, the primary colours and a few extras, but really not very much variety. Now that the local stationery store stocks the DecoArt, I have every possible paint colour that I can imagine and a lot more that I can't imagine too. So now when I go in there and I pick up, you know, paints that look like these, it just makes me very happy right from the start. It's like, oh my goodness, I want to put all those bottles together, and I know, well, I don't know because I'm not very good with colour theory, but hopefully it's going to look good. Okay, so I've got my 2 flip cups ready. Let's turn them over and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so there we go. So I had, just a reminder, this side no silicone, this side silicone. So let's pour them up, pick them up, and let's see what happens. So far so good, the colours are looking really nice. So let's get all the paint out here and drizzle these lovely colours into my corners. I don't want to don't want to waste the slightest bit of these juicy colours. Okay, there we go. Ooh, lovely. So far they look a little similar. I can see that as time is going on, this one has the silicone in it. This one is producing more cells coming up through automatically than the one without, although this one still is developing cells of its own. So I think before we do anything else, let's pop a torch over them and see if that makes any difference. Didn't seem to do very much with the pouring medium just on its own. Let's see what happens with this one with the silicone in it. Nope, didn't seem to make much difference for me either. So I've always seemed to, more's coming through now though. So I've always seemed to have found that with my paintings. I find a lot of other painters, you know, they do their painting, they put the torch over and suddenly it explodes with cells. I've never really had that. I just seem to get the cells from the mix, and using the torch doesn't do much. Okay, so I'm going to just take a moment to pull everything a little bit out of the way so it's not gonna get messy, because we are gonna tilt and see what happens. Okay, so firstly let's tilt this one. This is just the paint and the pouring medium. I might see if I, because the colours are so nice, I might see if I can just get a little bit in my cup rather than waste too much. Oh, I don't know. Let's just go for it. I'll put my fingers here and stop too much paint coming off the edges if I can. There we go. Looking good. Okay, so that's the one which is just the paint and the pouring medium. I'm going to touch up a little bit of paint on the four corners and we're done. This now, then the second one is the one that has the silicone also inside. So this one had a few more cells to start with. They just popped up naturally. And here we go, last corner. Okay, good. Let's tap those in. So I'm just going to go and wash up my very mucky hands and then we'll take a look at them. So here are two tiles side by side. This is the one which is just the paint and pouring medium. This is the one which also has the silicone. So I think you can see that the paint and pouring medium has made cells. Absolutely it has. It's made cells mostly I think where the white is. You can see this lighter area I think which is where the white is interacting with the orange there, and a little bit just here. Not so much in the blue and pink area, although there's a little bit just here and a little bit here, but the cells with the one with the silicone in are much larger, much more pronounced, and pretty much all over the painting. And the two of them, you know, depending on what look you like, you may like that one better, you may like that one better. However, I think this pouring medium is excellent. From my first initial impression, if you want to get into acrylic pouring, buy the DecoArt craft paints. These ones, for example, DecoArt Americana, they come in these little 2-ounce bottles in an enormous range of colours. So you can buy these paints, you can buy the DecoArt pouring medium, and you can get results like this with absolutely no having to guess your mixture at all. A ratio of 1 to 1 and you'll get results that look like that. And if all you do is add a couple of drops or a drop of the silicone oil, then you will get a painting that looks like this. So in terms of making acrylic pouring easy for beginners, I think absolutely DecoArt has got the perfect product for that. So I think we can call the DecoArt Pouring Medium a success, and I will definitely be using this in future because it is so easy. However, the big test will be, of course, how it dries. It doesn't look as though the paint is continuing to move at all, so I'm expecting that these will look exactly the same dry as they do now, but of course we will have to look on that. The next product I've got to test is their pour on top coat. So once these are dry, you will see them come back and I will put a top coat on, and what I'm going to do is pour it straight on this one and straight on this one, knowing that it's got silicone in it. I'm not going to clean it off when I put the top coat on, so that will be a great side-by-side test that we can do for the top coat too. So look out for that video, subscribe if you haven't already, and then hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button. You'll be notified when there are new videos, and in that case then you won't miss the review of the pour on top coat. So if you have problems with getting brush strokes, it may be that pour on top coat is the one for you. So that'll be coming up next. As usual, thanks for watching and see you on the channel soon, I hope.